Start of the fourth quarter here at Wilson Field at Arthur-Lovington High School. The Knights 12 football minutes away from doing something they haven't done since 2008, and that's when their season opener, they lead the St. Francis de Sales Pioneers 41-0 as we get set to start the fourth, and the Knights, so far so good in week one. Alan Patton.
Yeah, as we said, next Friday we're going to be at Tuscola as the Warriors open their home schedule against Monticello. Monticello, a 35-0 winner over Warrensburg-Latham last night at home. Tuscola opened on the road and defeated Clinton 48-14. So a matchup of old original Okaw teams. And Monticello and Tuscola were both in the Okaw in the early days, back in the, I think conference started back in the mid-20s. So since they've rejoined, kind of got back together. They meet 2 years at a time. And Tuscola, I think, has won every meeting so far.
Here's a handoff, and here's Wright around the left side toward the 5-yard line. And that was as we started the fourth quarter, that was a second and goal. And now it's a third and goal situation coming up for the Knights of Arthur-Lovington. As you mentioned, Tuscola Monticello. Tuscola with the win, and quarterback Eli Kaufman looking like Eli Manning there. A couple of rushing touchdowns for Kaufman as the Warriors look to get to the championship game. They've made it 5 out of the last 6 years, I believe.
Yeah, the 2008, the only year they've not made it since 2006, they didn't make it. Oh, here's a bad pitch on a play, and
Siebens covering up there. A little miscommunication there, but Siebens able to swarm under it nicely there. One of the few miscues today on Arthur-Lovington's part. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's a loss back to the 12, a loss of 6. So it's going to be 4th and goal at the 12-yard line for the
17. 17. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, 17. So that was a lot bigger.
Going forward on 4th and goal. Over the middle, and it's caught. Cody Siebens makes it
down close to the goal line, and we've got a flag.
That was thrown right along the far sideline as Siebens was tackled, and we have a shaken up Pioneer.
I think we've got some cramping going on. That is, yep, I saw him lift he's laying on his back and he's lifting his leg, and haven't seen what the flag is for. But
if I had to speculate, I know speculation is
could have been a good face mask maybe, because it was thrown by the official back in the end zone. And he's being attended to by a couple coaches, a trainer, 2 or 3 players.
Back up, that was Paul Ivy there. Was Paul Ivy shooken up there?
I can't tell.
Ivy was there.
Paul Ivy's standing out in the middle of the field with his helmet off. So.
Oh, it's okay. So
I don't know who it is, but they're still tending to him. I still haven't seen a signal on the Siebens brought down about the, looks like it's about the 2 or 3. So,
he was still in the field of play when that flag was thrown, so okay, now the officials headed by referee Travis Nelson in the white cap. They're conferring. I don't think the officials have forgotten about the flag.
Yeah, they're still conferring. That was Eric Matthews. Was it Matthews or? No, Matthews is still on the field. I think that was Trevor Washington.
Well, here comes referee Travis Nelson coming this way here, and
they're going to talk a little bit more about the situation. I think Washington's down again. He's just having trouble walking back to the sideline, to the bench area. And we'll see if we ever get a call on the penalty. Remember, next Friday night we'll be at Tuscola as the Warriors take on the Monticello Sages. Game time 7 o'clock. Hope to see you there.
And speaking of Tuscola, I think as they're looking at the St. Francis de Sales player on the sideline, that we could think our sponsors from the area have been very, very generous, to say the least, and we still have yet to resume play here. And that's number 13 there. It is Trevor Washington, Alan Patton there.
Well, they've moved the ball back to the, it looks like the original line of scrimmage. Well, no, they've moved it to the 12. So apparently the penalty was against Arthur-Lovington.
It was a 4th and goal from the 17 when
Caleb Schrock, according to my stats, 3 of 3 passing, 48 yards. Yeah. We'll just say it was a 5-yard penalty against the Knights. And, well, hold on a second. That would have been a 5-yard gain, so it would have been against St. Francis de Sales. Right.
Could have been a defensive, it's a holding.
Defensive holding. And it's okay. Well, so much for that.
So will it be an automatic first down, or will it stay 4th down?
The referee indicated it's still 4th down. So it'll be 4th and goal from the 12. So
Cole Garman is split out to the near side, number 14, and Cody Siebens in the slot left.
Here's Schrock, and he's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage for about an 8-yard loss. And let's see.
Cornelius McIntosh, 22.
Yep, there you go. So, a loss of 8. And that gives St. Francis de Sales the football, 1st and 10.
On the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Yes, sir.
With 9 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the 4th quarter.
Matthews still at quarterback for the Pioneers. And some fresh faces for the Arthur-Lovington defense.
David Rosenbaum hustling onto the field. Get in on the offensive line.
Completion to Catron.
Nice pass to Catron. Picks up about 7 on the play.
Brendan Teak, number 44, there first offensively for the Arthur-Lovington Knights.
That's the 3rd completion in 9 attempts for Matthews for 20 yards. So we said after they got the snap issues taken care of, the offense is running a little bit smoother for the Pioneers.
8-yard gain that last play, 2nd and 2.
Well,
as we say that,
that's the announcer's jinx.
Alive and well. Believe you me, that's happened to yours truly on several occasions. Matthews covers up 6 yards behind the line.
He was perfect at the free throw line before he missed it with 2 seconds to go. It's 3rd down and...
How many mulligans are we allowed?
Well, I don't know.
3rd and 8, a little pump fake there by Matthews. Comes this way to Catron. Oh, off a deflection. He caught it at about the 32-yard line. before being propelled back by a host of red shirts. Jerseys, I should say. Red shirts means something else.
Brendan Teak got a hand on the ball, but it looked like it deflected right into Catron's hands. I think put the ball at the 31. And that is a first down.
Their second of the game, if my memory and math are good.
Second catch for Catron for 16 yards. 29 yards passing for Eric Matthews.
7 in the box for the Knights defensively. Matthews going down the middle. And it's picked off! Logan Dukeman with the INT to St. Francis de Sales 35-yard line.
About a 19-yard return on the pass. And going to be at the 35-yard line of St. Francis de Sales. Matthews threw into triple coverage. And looks like we got a timeout called by Arthur-Lovington with 6:11 left to go in the fourth quarter. And the score, 41 for Arthur-Lovington at Wood Hammond. I guess what we're calling them now. And nothing for St. Francis de Sales. Let me tell you, we'll tell you about the sponsors for our broadcasts of Douglas County Digest.com fall sports. Edward Jones, Jim Kleiss, serving Douglas County and Tuscola on Route 36. The Villa Grove State Bank, your community bank since 1919 in downtown Villa Grove. Arthur Flowers and Gift Shop. Flowers, gifts, and 20 flavors of fudge. It would be a favor if I had 20 flavors of fudge. It would also be very damaging to my health, but that's another story. In downtown Arthur for Arthur Flowers and Gift Shop. Longview State Bank. We belong together with 4 locations in Villa Grove, Newman, Camargo, and Sydney. State Farm agent John Davis, serving all of Douglas County, located in Tuscola. Main Street Gallery with local Douglas County photos and frames in Arcola. Rick's Country Market, the freshest food with down-home prices in Villa Grove. Hilligosh Schrader Funeral Homes in Tuscola, Arthur, and Arcola. The Hillard Insurance Agency, your neighborhood agency in Tuscola and Villa Grove. And we're about ready to get back to football here with 6:11 to go. Midway through the fourth quarter, Arthur-Lovington with the football after the interception.
At St. Francis de Sales 35.
We have a new, looks like we have a new
Teak
quarterback.
The number 44 appears.
Yep. And the running back met in the backfield is Jake Eaton. And we've got a flag on the play. And let's see. Came in from the near sideline. Helping the runner, I think, is the call against Arthur-Lovington. And it's going to be a 5-yard walk-off. And it's going to be 1st and 15. Or is it 2nd and 15? 2nd and 15.
So a loss of downs and a loss of yards.
Clock continues to run.
So Teak is the quarterback, number 44, the third quarterback of the game for Arthur-Lovington.
Bad snap. And it's recovered by that Mitchell Helton.
At midfield.
At midfield, so a loss of 10.
Kyle Fagan, number 3, has come on for Arthur-Lovington. Jersey number 3. And back on the field goes Mr. Teak.
And let's see, it looks like we've got Kyle Fagan. Is he going to punt? Yeah, nope, he's going to take the snap. Kyle Fagan going to keep it himself, goes right up the middle. Gets a good chunk of yardage. And he goes from midfield to about the 41, so we're going to call it a 9-yard gain.
Sort of a modified Wildcat there.
And it's going to be 4th down and 16.
Now the Wildcat is when the quarterback's on the side of the formation, I believe, but
I don't. Well, I think it's when somebody other than the quarterback takes the snap. And we got another flag.
Delay a game, the possible call here.
This is procedure against Arthur-Lovington, I'm guessing.
Oh, yes, that's right.
So that's going to move it back 5. Make it 4th and 21 at the 46. And the clock keeps on rolling. And looks like we're going to have a punter do some work. Andy Webb. Yep. This is only the second punt of the day for the Knights. It's a high, short one. And it's going to go out of bounds at the 32-yard line. So, about a 22-yard punt.
Well, you mentioned the sponsors, Alan, if you'd like to be a sponsor, if you know of any potential sponsors for Douglas County Digest Varsity Football Game of the Week, you can contact Celeste Rogers. You can email her at celeste@douglascountydigest.com for more information. So from the 32-yard line, 1st and 10, St. Francis de Sales. And remaining in the pistol is Matthews, and it is overthrown. And that was intended there for Anthony Gary Ward on the far side.
Yeah, number 12, Anthony Gary Warren.
Inside 2 minutes left, 4th quarter here at Wilson Field. Arthur-Lovington well in command.
Yeah, game was pretty much decided the first quarter when Arthur-Lovington scored 35 points. 2 or 3 offensive touchdowns, a defensive touchdown, and a special teams touchdown.
Arthur-Lovington scoring 99 points all season long last year, and so far in 2012, 41.
Here's Matthews rolling out to the right side. A jump pass, intercepted.
Jake Eaton to the house almost. Oh, inside the 5, he is out of bounds at about the 3.
And Eaton's going to take it down to the 2-yard line, but less than a minute to go.
And that clock keeps on running.
That's right. So I think, all right, well, we had a flag. We had a flag down. And I think we've got us a timeout. Let's stop the clock with 43 seconds to go. I'll give you that the rest of the sponsor list. I want to mention and thank A. Patterson Springs Bed and Breakfast in historic Patterson Springs between Camargo and Tuscola. Paulie's Barbecue, the best smoked meats right here at home in Arthur. Sewing by Kathy, alterations, repair or new, it's up to you in Tuscola, located next to Edward Jones. And thanks to the cities of Arcola, Arthur, Tuscola, and Villa Grove. We want to wish good luck to all the area schools this season. And we want to thank you for tuning in to Douglas County Digest for all area sports action.
And special thanks to Celeste Rogers and Tim Rogers making us sound good and look good. Thank you very much, guys, for, I'll tell you, speaking for myself.
Darn miracle workers, let me tell you.
And Celeste Rogers, our executive producer, trying to line up some interviews for us here. Post-game, we may get some words from the players and the coaches.
Well, I don't know what the penalty was, but St. Francis de Sales has it 1st and 10 at the 47. Eric Matthews, he's winding it up. He's got Catron down there. Oh, enters. Incomplete.
Cole Garman, number 14. Nice coverage. He came there at the right time. If it was too early of an interference, it was too late, a possible touchdown. So good timing there by Garman there.
St. Francis de Sales is going to milk this. For all it's worth, they've called another timeout with 27 seconds to go.
A little more FaceTime here on the DouglasCountyDigest.com. Why not?
Well, I would, in my opinion, it would be a little bit of closing the barn door after the horse got out. And way too little, way too late. But, you know, that's the way it goes.
Next week, Tuscola versus Monticello on the varsity football game of the week. And you'll be joined by Mark Maxey.
That is correct.
Looking forward to that, and the game will be in Tuscola.
Eric Matthews, I think, trying to show off his arm a little bit.
And his feet.
Yeah, he's going to keep it, and he's going to run, and he's going to be close to the first down. And they're going to call a timeout. I think what they're trying to do is at least get on the board. They don't want to go back to Chicago with the goose egg on them. About a 13-yard gain that time for Matthews, and that's the 4th first down.
And they have 171 miles from here to the Windy City.
Yeah. I heard somebody say one time that back in the old days, the definition of hard drive was going from Arcola to Tuscola after you'd lost to the Purple Riders if you were a Warrior. This is the new version of hard drive.
And fortunately, it's a Saturday. If this was a Friday with the traffic on the 50, oh, man.
Well, 18.6 seconds left. Matthews dropping back to throw. He's being rushed. It's not Jake LeGroux. Here's a long pass downfield. It's incomplete. And clock is stopped again with 7.5 left to go. They're trying to get that all elusive goose egg off the scoreboard. That was Mason Lee instead of Jake LeGroux chasing down Eric Matthews. Some of the reserves coming in and get a little extra PT.
Coach Dale Schuring definitely blessed with a nice roster.
Yeah, that's
to work with.
That's something
sure.
They haven't had for a couple of years is numbers
and good practice during the off season. And
yeah, it looks like we've got an injured player down on the feet, down about the inside the 10-yard line. Yeah, I've said it before, and I know I'm sound like a broken record, but reading the newspaper articles with Dale Schuring, in the last couple of years they haven't had enough to even practice or scrimmage in practice, and this makes a lot of difference. You've got some bodies out there. You get to play JV ball, which gives guys a chance to. The younger guys a chance to get on the field and everything. So I think that we're going to see, they're Arthur-Lovington expecting to be moving up in the standings in the Little Okaw Valley Conference. They've been down at the bottom the last couple of years. And, Cerro Gordo, Villa Grove, Arcola, probably the top three. And Arthur-Lovington feels like maybe they can contend for at least the third place or maybe even more in the LOVC. This should be the last play of the game. They started the clock again with 5 seconds to go. Matthews dropping back. He throws a pass out in the flat intended for Dawson. It's incomplete. And that is the ball game.
Final score here at Wilson Field. Arthur-Lovington 41, St. Francis de Sales of Chicago, no score. And the fireworks have made their presence felt.
Had trouble getting the scoreboard and the PA and everything else working, but by golly, you get those fireworks going, and it's not a nice little display over there in the northeast corner of the football field. I think that's probably a family doing that. Looks like it's right by their garage, but nice little added touch to the festivities this
afternoon. I'll tell you, for an opening game of the season, absolutely, it's a little confidence, confidence booster for sure for Arthur-Lovington, and then perhaps we'll get some words from players and coaches from Arthur-Lovington on this one. Very, very decisive win, as we mentioned. All the points scored in that first half, including 35 in that opening quarter, and Arthur-Lovington mixing it up very nicely on the scoring, getting a touchdown run, a touchdown pass, a quarterback keeper, a fumble recovery for a touchdown, a punt return, all in that first quarter, and then a pass in that second quarter, and that's all Arthur-Lovington needed to get the first win of the year here in week 1 of this 2012 season.